Well, I'm Sinclair Ferguson. As my accent betrays, I'm Scottish. I'm a minister actually in the Associate Reformed Presbyterian Church. Well, what I have here now is a book called The Marrow of Modern Divinity, which Christian Focus under the Christian Heritage imprint have reproduced in a very attractive version. This book was not a particularly important book in the 17th century, but in the early 1700s, a Scottish minister by the name of Thomas Boston, who was minister in a very small church in the south east of Scotland, was visiting a man who I think had fought in the English Civil War. And he noticed on the window ledge 2 books. And one of them was this book, The Marrow of Modern Divinity. And he borrowed it. It changed his ministry and in many ways changed his life. And he says that as a result of that, people who didn't know anything about this book, people noticed there was something different about his ministry. He said they noticed there was a certain tincture, that's the word he uses, about his ministry. And the book is interesting because it's in the form of a very extensive dialogue among 4 different people. He has 4 characters. One is called Evangelista, and he is the pastor. And he's a reformed, evangelical, orthodox, warm-hearted, caring minister. And then there's somebody who is called Neophytus, who is a new Christian. And then there's somebody who is a legalist and somebody who is an antinomian. And so the whole book involves how does the pastor the new Christian through the competing emphasis of someone who says you need to keep the law in order to essentially enjoy your salvation. Thomas Boston, who rediscovered the Marrow of Modern Divinity and then went on to write notes on it, has always been a great hero figure of mine because he ministered in out-of-the-way places, and yet his ministry is still touching people's lives today. I've always admired him as a theologian and as a pastor, and not only therefore is The Marrow of Modern Divinity a pretty significant book to read, but Boston's notes, which are reprinted, some of them are small notes, some of them are actually extended essays, and in this edition they are printed as extended essays. They punctuate the book. In my own view, they are of even more value than the book itself. So this is really quite a treasure. In fact, I noticed my friend Derek Thomas says The Marrow of Modern Divinity is one of the most important theological texts of all time. But it's a book for all Christians because the people in this book are wrestling with the kind of issues that Christians are wrestling with all the time. And it's also, I think it's really quite an important book for ministers to read because it will help them engage with those questions and think them through biblically.